This video opens in the midst of an active frontline engagement, where the atmosphere is tense, chaotic, and shaped by exhaustion on all sides. The terrain itself tells the story of prolonged combat: narrow trenches carved into the earth, damaged fortifications, scattered equipment, and the silent signs of intense fighting that has recently taken place. Russian troops are seen advancing carefully through these trenches, moving methodically, trench by trench, after Ukrainian defensive positions have been broken and abandoned. Their movement is cautious, deliberate, and alert, reflecting the reality of close quarters, frontline warfare, where danger can exist in every corner of a trench. As the Russian soldiers proceed forward, they conduct systematic clearing operations, checking each section of the trench network to ensure there are no remaining combatants or hidden threats. This is standard frontline procedure, as abandoned trenches can often conceal wounded soldiers, delayed defenders, or booby traps. The environment is harsh and unforgiving, with mud, debris, and signs of recent explosions surrounding them. Despite the intensity of the situation, the soldiers maintain discipline and coordination as they move. During this advance, an unexpected and deeply human moment unfolds. In one of the trenches, Russian soldiers suddenly notice a lone Ukrainian soldier who has been left behind. He is not standing, not aiming a weapon, and not attempting to resist. Instead, he is barely able to move. His posture immediately signals distress rather than aggression. He is sitting weakly inside the trench, his head resting against the edge, his body language reflecting extreme exhaustion and physical collapse rather than combat readiness. At first, the Russian soldiers react cautiously, aiming their rifles as trained soldiers would when encountering an unknown individual in a combat zone. However, within moments, it becomes clear that this man poses no threat. He is severely weakened, dehydrated, and physically unable to stand. His condition suggests that he has been without proper food, water, or medical attention for a significant period of time. Whether due to the chaos of battle, a forced retreat, or logistical breakdown, he appears to have been left behind in circumstances where survival alone is already a struggle. The tone of the situation changes as the Russian soldiers recognize his condition. Their posture relaxes slightly and their focus shifts from combat readiness to assessment. They approach him carefully, not with hostility, but with concern and caution. The soldier is clearly injured and exhausted to the point that even basic movement is beyond his strength. He does not attempt to flee, resist, or speak forcefully. He appears to be fighting not against the enemy, but against his own failing body. As the scene continues, the Russian soldiers begin to check his condition more closely. They observe that he cannot stand on his own and is unable to walk. His breathing appears labored and his body shows signs of extreme fatigue. At this moment, the video captures a powerful contrast between the brutality of war and the humanity that can still exist within it. Despite being enemies moments earlier, the Russian soldiers choose restraint over violence and assistance over retaliation. Recognizing that his body armor may be contributing to his inability to move and could worsen his condition, the soldiers carefully begin removing his equipment. Using a knife, they cut away sections of his armor plates, not aggressively but deliberately, ensuring he is not further injured. This is not done in haste or cruelty, but as a practical measure to reduce weight and strain on his body. The process is careful, reflecting awareness of his fragile condition. Once his armor is removed, the soldiers gently pull him out of the trench. He collapses onto the ground outside, lying almost motionless due to severe weakness. At first glance, he appears unconscious or close to death. Yet even in this moment, the Russian soldiers continue their efforts, ensuring he is positioned safely and not left vulnerable in the open trench system. They proceed to disarm him completely, removing grenades, weapons, and electronic equipment. This is done as a security measure, standard in any battlefield situation, but it is carried out without aggression or humiliation. The intent is clear: to neutralize any danger while preserving the life of a wounded enemy soldier. Once disarmed, he is no longer treated as a combatant, but as a wounded human being in need of help. The soldiers then pause to observe him, monitoring his condition. There is no visible mistreatment, no unnecessary force, and no acts of revenge. Instead, the moment stands as a reminder that even amid violent conflict, individual soldiers still have the capacity for moral judgment and restraint. The Ukrainian soldier's life, though shaped by opposing sides in war, is treated as valuable in that moment. This footage highlights the harsh reality of frontline warfare, where chaos, exhaustion, and breakdowns in supply or communication can leave soldiers stranded and vulnerable. It also shows that war is not only defined by weapons and battles, but by choices made in critical moments. The decision to help rather than harm, to restrain rather than kill, stands in sharp contrast to the destruction surrounding them. As the video concludes, the focus remains on the silent aftermath of this encounter. No triumphant gestures, no celebratory behavior. Only the quiet reality of soldiers continuing their advance after ensuring that a helpless enemy is no longer left to die alone in a trench. The scene leaves viewers reflecting on the complexity of war, where humanity can surface even in the most brutal environments. This is not merely footage of a battlefield operation, but a documentation of a moment where restraint, discipline, and human judgment override hatred. It serves as a reminder that behind uniforms and national lines are individuals capable of mercy, even when surrounded by violence. The video captures a rare and sobering glimpse into the moral weight carried by soldiers in war and the difficult choices they face on the front line. Until now, that's all for today, and thanks for watching.